I just recently, as I've been promoting the flyer, I came across a page. It's a page on autism. I can't remember the name of the page. Creator of the actual page, he shared a situation that happened between him and his family. A lot of us come from religious backgrounds, and maybe you guys may see where this is going. So some of us comes from super religious backgrounds, very traditional, like have your faith in God and that's all you need type tradition. You know what I mean? When meanwhile, everybody's faith isn't on the same level, 24 hours, 7 days a week, 365. You know what I mean? He shared a post about his church family, and they were telling him all it is just a spirit, and how he just need to come to church more. You know, these religious approaches to getting rid of autism. I want you guys' thoughts on this because I thought it was interesting.
I'm gonna jump in right quick so that Laquan can really get into everything that she has and provide some real resources instead of pray it off. It's just very interesting how certain believers will say Creator created things in certain ways, but yet I'm defective. How I was created, I was defective. I think there was purpose in it. It should be about empowerment instead of deficiency.
Yeah.
Instead of, again, because my experience is not your experience. Now I'm defective. And how we say it's a spirit, it's a lack of understanding. And that's why we need individuals like Laquan in the community to help provide resources and education, because there is a deficit, especially in the Black community, and especially in a lot of communities of color. I literally had a parent tell me, my child will not be in your classroom. Your child need a classroom like mine because they got these sensory needs and they need somebody who's going to try to reach them your child need to be in a regular classroom because ain't nothing wrong with your child. Okay. And your child in the regular classroom, lost, overwhelmed, overstimulated, and not flourishing because you have a problem. You have a lack of understanding. You think that it's just going to go away. And that's not how this works. It doesn't go away. You find ways to self-regulate and be self-empowered. It's not something that needs to be changed. It's something that needs to be embraced. It's something that you need to be educated on. And it's something that we need to help empower individuals and who they are to be the best versions of themselves. It's really disheartening when we guise judgment, lack of understanding, and our own feelings of discomfort under religious masks in the name of spirituality. And because that ain't it.
That's not it.
There's so much to unpack in what Locke just said, right? There is the thing that she said that is the biggest piece, is that particularly in the Black community, we don't see mental health diagnosis, particularly a cognitive diagnosis, as diagnoses. When you layer that with spirituality and scripture, and if you really have read the Bible, one of the things people tend to harp on is the fact that there were these healings by God and prophets. And so that's where we get into the aspect of we can just pray it away. And people don't realize when you get into reading and understanding scripture that those individuals who were given ability to heal people had a purpose, and it wasn't designed to be sustained for forever in humanity, on top of the fact that the Bible was written to tell us that we are imperfect individuals, and imperfection comes in many forms.
Yes.
It so may happen that the imperfection is related to a health care diagnosis, which includes mental health.
Right.
So telling people that you gonna go to church and pray things away, that ain't the church or the spirituality that I subscribe to. So let me just go ahead and put that on the record. We believe in getting help where help is needed. For any condition that ails the body, the mind is a part of the body. It is the most important part of the body. And it is the part of the body that really, when you study science, my background, that controls everything. Your mind will tell you if you're going to live or die. And your body will follow if you don't have your mind under control. But in a case where you have a specific diagnosis, because the brain is different than how we typically see it, you get into a whole realm of something else. You know, I'm like you, I'm saddened to hear that this is the case. And hopefully this individual can reach out, come in contact with, because it sounds like that they're doing some growth work by the fact that they're even having this conversation, and they will have somebody on their page who can help direct them, and they will see it, because lots of times lots of comments go in. So it may get overwhelming if he's the individual that's himself that's on the spectrum versus if he may be talking about a child. I wasn't sure about that. with your setup in the scenario, but that he comes across some information that he can see in real time. And that if we're going to put God and spirituality in this in any way, that God will direct him to see the comment that he wants to see, to be able to get the help, the support, the resources that he needs to manage his life in the best way that he can for him. The last thing I'm going to say is that we forget that what success looks like for one person is not going to look the same for somebody else, because it's going to be based on their definition. And it's also tied to innately what every person's individual innate or developed ability is. Because some things we just have, like Locke mentioned, the savantness that comes for some persons on the spectrum, but some of us can develop talents where we have an interest and a desire to learn and grow, and it's no different there.
I think that until we have these conversations, then we're going to be stuck in a certain mindset.